You get it from who you can get it from.
No, but the point they're making is that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So if they're not willing to receive the information, just telling them is not a good thing. So you got to wait for people to try to get it from you. So because now they'll be receptive to what you have to say, and so
They
that
don't
so I
know when
understand.
they're ready. We have to know when they're ready.
I wouldn't say that. These are
You
adults.
can't tell me
They
you
know.
can't tell somebody when they're ready to receive something. And I
No,
back in the day,
Nana ain't
Amp used
letting
to
it
give
go.
me a lot of great advice. I wasn't mature enough, and I wasn't able to receive it at that time. But Hamp talking to me now as a 22-year-old young woman, I'd be able to receive a lot of stuff that he was saying back then and understand it and not be so combative.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh yeah, you're young. You have a little excuse, but you know you're a woman when you get your menstrual, right?
I understand that.
Okay, then. So you guys gotta come on up. You know, you become a woman
Can I
long
ask what
before
did that mean?
22.
What was that analogy?
See, this what we be talking about when we be
Right, because what did my menstrual have to do with anything? I know I'm a woman. I might not look like it all the time, but I'm sure. I'm not confused, not a part of that clan.
Well, you're leaning on being immature. You shouldn't say that.
I
You
mean,
you you have to what?
at a point in time, I think everybody is immature. I think I'm still immature. I mean, I think we're all immature in a certain way, no matter how old you are. My mom's 58, my dad's about to be 60. Them niggas is still immature. I don't care what nobody said.
Well, that's not a good thing. That's
I
not cute.
mean, I don't, my parents playing around like kids, that's immature to me. That's immature.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's them joning on each other. That's immaturity.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not a bad thing. It's just immature.
Oh,
Am
okay.
I wrong?
I'm really mature then.
Okay. If you want to call that
No, I
immature,
want to be on
okay,
the. I want
fine.
to be the fly on the wall for that. Would they be cracking on each other? What they be saying? I
They be
want
yeah.
to
going
see
crazy.
this.
They be going crazy.
I
They
don't
be
know
going
how
a
to
little crazy.
not to.
They be in there like Def Comedy Jam. I want to see this.
Def Comedy Jam Central in here. Boy,
But
it'd
I
be
will say
hilarious.
with
You'd have
baby
thought it was
boomers,
like
I
two
always feel
kids
like you have
going.
to give them a hypothetical. You
Let
can't
me
tell them it's for
clear.
you.
Let me clarify one thing. So,
Right. My
if
friend
a,
said,
if a girl gets a menstrual, she should be thinking of like a woman at that point.
oh, is that what that analogy was? I did not get that. I didn't get that. Over
No,
my head.
I'm asking for clarification. Hold,
Oh,
y'all,
okay.
slow down, slow down.
That's
As
the
Abe,
only difference between a girl and a woman is a menstrual.
well, does it make her able to have a child, or are you saying that automatically makes her a
Yes.
woman?
Can I
She
ask
can
a
have a
question?
child.
So
Can
I'm
I
wait,
ask?
sorry.
wait, no, you can't
Okay.
ask the question right now. Hold on. So you're saying because she can now have a child, that she's automatically a woman at that juncture?
What makes what makes you come from a girl to a woman other than a menstrual?
I'm asking, are you saying the menstrual is literally what makes you become a woman? And a
Yes.
woman is strictly biology. Becoming a woman doesn't have any growth or understanding or brain development or anything.
Not right, not necessarily. You become a woman biologically.
Okay. Okay.
Can I?
And so, with that being said, you're saying 22 isn't an excuse because you've been a woman for 10 years already.
Definitely not an excuse.
I'm sorry. 12-year-olds aren't women in the head.
Well, hold on.
So how?
Yana had a
But you're
Yana had a
not
Yeah, I had a
question.
immature
question real
at
quick, but
22. You
I agree
shouldn't
with
be.
that.
Oh, hold on. Yana
So,
had a question. Let her get it. And then Callie, you could jump right in. All right. Oh, who was that?
so,
That was Callie, right? Yeah. Okay.
so
Go
you're
ahead,
saying you're supposed to be mature because you've had your menstrual. So, if that's something that makes you mature, it does having, well, you having sex, does that make you a woman
No,
too?
I said you become a
I mean, it was a
woman,
question.
but not necessarily your faculties, the way you think.
Okay, so with being having sex, does that make you an adult because it is an adult act?
Is wait a minute. What is an adult act? What do you mean? Because adult
Adults have
changes
sex,
depending on
right?
what state you're in. You could become an adult at different ages.
Okay, so would being a if I was a woman, I mean, I don't get that. Never mind. I can't get my question out. All right.
Just think biologically, science. Just think science.
Biologically, science. Yes, I'm a full grown. I mean, I'm a woman because I menstruate now. But I think there are other acts that a young woman could be like, well, I've done this, so now I'm a woman. There are a lot of young women out here who be like, I've had sex. I'm a woman. You can't tell me nothing. right?
Well, that's their maturity. If they think they are a woman and they think they know what they're talking about and you're still being immature, then that's them.
Then I
If
can
you
say the
still
same
want to
thing
be
for the
immature
fact
at
that you just made.
22 and they've decided I'm going to be a woman at 16 or
Well, I
13 or
can say the same
whatever
thing
because
because I
my
mean,
faculties think that way, then why are you mad?
for you being able to be a woman just because you get your menstrual, I think that kind of is the same
No, I
thing.
said biologically.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
You're
like
a
it.
biologically.
woman. That's all I'm saying.
That's all
Okay.
she's saying. Don't read more
Okay.
into it. That's what's biologically.
I'm
So
just
let me
making sure.
ask you, A, just real quick.
Hold on, real
Oh,
quick. Kelly
uh,
Beth actually had a
I'm sorry,
follow up.
Kelly.
So if it's just biologically a woman, then why did you speak to her mindset and immaturity and reference her having her cycle then? That's two different things.
Thank you. That's the thing I was asking.
Wait, say that again. Why did I speak to her mindset with the
No,
menstrual?
you were speaking to her mindset as a woman, and you based that off of her having a menstrual cycle. When we
No,
all know that you can,
no,
well, I
no,
mean, well, that's what you did. I'm just saying,
no.
that's
I
what you
said
did.
biologically, the difference between a girl and a woman is a menstrual.
Right,
And
but you
then,
were
but
Now,
talking
that was
about
your
her
the backwards
maturity
factor.
Hold
level.
faculties,
on,
The
hold on,
premise
y'all.
of
I
the
couldn't hear you.
conversation
Let
was
them
her
work it out.
maturity level.
I didn't catch you, Kelly.
I said the premise of the conversation was her maturity level. That's what you were referring to, and that's why Yana was like, "Wait, why'd you bring up my period?" Because we
No,
all
I
know that you can
clearly
get your
said
period as young as 8, 9
biologically.
years old.
No, I clearly said biologically. She
I know
was
what
saying she was still being immature, and her parents are immature at 68 or whatever, however old they are.
Well, I met Hamp in high school, and I didn't get my period until high school. So I think I was okay to be immature at that time. I was the late
No, no,
bloomer.
no. But you're conflating what I'm saying. I'm
Ah,
saying biologically. That's it. Now, when you decide to bring your mind up, that's on you. And you didn't bring your mind up at 22. You're telling us you're immature, right? Is that what you said? That's why you and your boyfriend didn't work out because you guys were immature.
My God, I feel like I'm
You
never
said
mind.
that,
You're right.
but it had nothing
So
to do with you having a menstrual. You already had that, but you were still being immature.
I think we lack emotional and like we just lack the emotional maturity because emotionally you should be able to communicate no matter how upset you are with your partner, what's going on with you. Not, hey, I need to go take a walk because I'm so pissed off right now. Or I'm gonna break a window because I'm upset and I am not gonna go hit the punching bag or the tire. I think that was the emotional maturity that we lack.
Can I
Well,
ask
some people.
Ave? Can I ask Ave one thing? So, what about a man? Is it when he has that first wet dream or that first ejaculate that makes a boy into a man? Is that the same thing? The biological change when his testes drop?
Is that what happens? Because I really don't have a clear understanding on
Yeah,
Yeah,
how it is
essentially,
a man.
essentially, yeah.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah, so probably, yeah.
Well, I guess that should be more clear when he's able to produce sperm. And there's a certain age when that happens, when he turns from a boy into an
Is there
adult.
any other changes that makes you a man from a boy to a man?
No, but no, from the biological standpoint, would
Right.
you consider that the same as a young girl getting the menses, just biologically, not maturity wise, but just biological? You
What?
know,
That makes
so
her a woman.
okay, so would that make a boy a man once he can ejaculate?
Not
I know
sure
you're a
about
woman,
that
but
one.
it's not the
If that's the only
equivalency.
difference that you did when you were a boy, you're saying you didn't ejaculate, and then at one point you
Until
began
you
to
get a
ejaculate.
certain age, you get to a certain age. You don't
Yeah.
have one when you're a little boy.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
being
was
able to
thinking wrong.
ejaculate is the equivalent of the woman receiving her period. You can't just ejaculate until it's time.
Right. So yeah, you're a woman, so you didn't think about that. So
Probably.
yeah. So there will be a whole bunch of people. You'd have to be real specific that you're talking just biologically, because
I
nobody would
said that.
consider I know you did. I know you did. But it's easy to be missed when you talk about that from that standpoint. But I now understand you better. So, and I
Yeah,
think
that's
everybody
all I
does.
was saying.
Okay.
Because we all mature at different levels by
Mm.
choice or by
So the
learning.
one thing in your favor is this, though. I swear, when your daughters start having their menses, your conversation as a woman to them has to change at that point. Has to. So I can understand it because they need to know. They need to be armed with information. They do.
Honestly, they already got the information. They really not dependent on the parent to tell them.
And I guess that's
That,
unfortunate. But
yeah, that's a problem. It should
yes.
that should be happening from the time that they're a child, in my opinion, and it should happen way. If you wait until that time to begin to have the conversation, it's too late.
What
Children,
conversations do you need? Get them some pads or a tampon and call it a
A
day.
lot of conversations.
you need
Can
to,
I add in real quick?
yeah, you have to have conversations. Just general, like if you just stick with biological, they're just a general conversation. You should be having hygiene conversations. You should be having safe touch conversations. Those kind of conversations should be being had since
That's
they were kids.
all. Come on.
That's important because
Can I
what
add in real
happens is
quick?
what you
Oh,
don't
after.
talk about, if it's not expressed, later on it becomes taboo. And then they're afraid to talk about it. And that's why we have things now where people are just finally speaking about things that were inappropriate that happened to them because the people that they loved and trusted the most didn't build a rapport with them where they were able to say, hey, this is that you don't have to allow someone to do this, or you, if you feel uncomfortable, then you should be able to say something. Not, on the flip side, you'll hear people say, hey, I came to my mom and they were like, well, what were you doing? Were you being fast? Those conversations should be being had from the time that they're children, for boys and girls. What their body, what's happening. Hey, listen, in a little while, your armpits are about to stink. You
What's the
need to have
value? What's the value again? Just in terms of articulating the value of having those conversations. What's the value?
the value is that you instill value in them. When you begin to tell them, hey, this is how you maintain cleanliness, this is how you care for yourself, this is how you keep up your hygiene, that instills value in a child. So now they know that they are important. They know that they have your body is precious. This
Okay.
isn't to be shown to just anybody.
Okay. And then what is, if it doesn't happen, what are the potential negative repercussions?
Yeah,
The
nobody said
potential,
shit.
you're unaware. You learn lessons from people that may not have your best interest at heart. You're easily manipulated. You're unsure of yourself. And then it breaches the relationship between you and the parent, which should be the strongest bond, because as you find these things out, you start to wonder, why didn't the people who are closest and most influential to me not have the conversation?
Okay. As Ave,
Yes.
that seems like it makes logical and valuable sense to me. What say you?
That's just book sense. That makes no sense, because if I were to ask how many people have had that conversation, but without it, didn't know to wash their armpits or between their legs. Did you need that conversation? Did you even have it? Because most of us are saying we didn't have that conversation with the ones before us. So without that conversation, did you know you stunk and you need to wash?
I would say
It's
yeah.
not just the washing, it's the how to wash too. Okay. So like you have the whole thing.
Callie, you can answer, but before answering, in terms of what the question was asked, you can answer the entire question, and then you can maybe dive into the minutia of douching or whatever y'all do.
Why is that gonna be the first thing? That's the only thing that come to
I
mind.
don't know. I'm not a girl. I
Y'all
don't know
come
what.
up with women stuff. Can I go after her, please, Callie?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Yes,
no, I
ma'am.
mean,
Right.
I don't see how you don't understand and how you can how you can categorize that as just book sense when we know that that is actual practical. You actually have to do these things. You have to do these things, understand why you do it, so you can pass it down to your daughters and to your nieces and all that kind of stuff. I mean, no wonder we had 16 and pregnant and all that kind of stuff like that. No wonder we had high pregnancy. No wonder. I'm looking at my mom like
Do
she
you
an
think
outlier, but I'm looking at you and I'm like, dang, that's the same shit.
I don't need to tell my daughter not to get pregnant at 16 for her to
Oh my
not get
God. Okay,
pregnant at
you know, Tam,
16?
I'm gonna take a break.
You really don't. You know, some things you just God gave you innate sensibility to know. You know, some people don't grow up with parents. So what do? Just run
So
amok?
so
You know,
so as
I've
as
learned
a
things without my mother telling me. Some
no,
things you just gotta
we're
know
not
as a
trying to
person.
discredit common knowledge. You know, I think that's what you're referring to. Like, okay, if my armpits stink, wash them. If my vagina is smelling different, wash them. That we everyone understands that, but we're saying as a parent, when you know that your child, because you were referring to biology, so let's just go from a biology standpoint. When you know at a certain age your child is about to start experiencing these different things, they are unaware and unfamiliar of those. But as a mother, just biology wise, you've already gone through these changes. So would it not be advantageous of you as a woman to explain to your child what's about to happen to her body and the best way to take care of her body so that she's not in middle school and her
Freaking out.
period comes on and she's bleeding and everyone can see blood through her tan pants,
I've seen that happen to
or she's
grown women.
sweating.
That'll happen. That'll happen. But here's the thing. I My mother didn't have to sit and tell me all these things for me to know.
Can
I
you answer
mean,
my
when you
question?
just
Can you answer my
something.
question?
Go ahead, Jim. What
Just answer the question though.
do I
Is it
think?
not
No,
advantageous? Like,
no.
so you don't think that it's important to let your daughter know or have those conversations to help assist her along through it on top of the common knowledge that she has? Because common knowledge doesn't tell you how to, put in a tampon or to do this or to do that. All the things that women need to do to keep their bodies not just thinking.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So can I? Okay, so can I? Damn, what was I about to say? I forgot.
It sounds cute, but I bet your mothers didn't sit down and tell you
So
how to wash your.
my mom. So I don't men. There's actual way that you're supposed to wash your vagina. Learn that because it wasn't common sense. You can't just throw a bar of soap down there; it'll burn real bad. So I didn't learn that through my mom. She just, it's like, hey, don't put a bar of soap down there; it's gonna hurt. And
Your
then
mom had to tell you don't put a bar of soap.
my mom told me go wash my ass. So what did I go do? Grab the bar of soap and wash my ass. Just figured it out, right? But also I was an athlete. I wrestled and I played basketball. I got my period in high school. So my first time playing basketball with a pad on, my pad came off. I didn't wear compression shorts either. My mom wasn't the one who showed me how to put a tampon in. A basketball teammate did. That'd have been something that would have been nice to know and not have a group of girls have to show me and laugh about it. I mean, it's cool. I figured it out after because a group of women showed me. But like that type of stuff isn't just like, oh, do that.
Couldn't
Were you
read
an
the box.
athlete? Were
Yes,
you an
you are.
athlete? Did you play any sports?
Certainly. But I said,
What sports did you play? Were they like sports? Like
were they what?
what sports did you play?
Softball, basketball, volleyball, badminton.
And all those sports your mom told you that maybe you shouldn't wear a pad, you should probably wear a tampon. So you just said, hey, I'm gonna put on a tampon.
Did your mom encourage you to wear a tampon?
Actually, she didn't.
She did, or
she did not. I think she
saying,
disagreed.
Okay.
My mom never told me. She never told me anything about tampons. I started using tampons on my own because I had that embarrassing moment in the middle of the court where my pad fell off. So I think that would have been something that would have been nice to know from my mother. And it could have been nipped in the bud a lot easier. And I would have been made. I'm not even at that, me being 22 years old. And now I'm getting a little more comfortable about talking about stuff with my mom. But it was never not a safe space. But she never made me feel comfortable enough to come to her about those types of things. You're my mom. You've seen all my parts. But for me to actually sit there and have a conversation with you about, hey, when's your period? or is your period coming, or are you okay? Are you on your period? Like that type of stuff. It was always a touchy subject because my mom never made it a safe space for me and my sister to do those type of things. We were always with my dad. My mom was the one that was always at work. My dad was always at home. So what about those types of females like that have a dad and be like, just sit on the toilet and wait for your mom to get home? Or sit in the tub.
Is that what happened? You said 3 sisters and you guys couldn't communicate with each other?
No, it was just me. I'm the middle child, and I have an older sister. My older sister, she did martial arts, so she figured out that stuff on her own as well. So my mom, it wasn't like a, hey, do this because you're gonna be grappling and wrestling with men all day. It's just I just don't think that's common knowledge at all.
But I mean, some children could benefit from it. I'll concede that, but it's not always necessary.
Okay, so did they have like a sex ed when you were in school? Because the bullcrap sex ed that I had, I didn't learn anything about sex or physical education. I can't tell you the woman's anatomy.
Did you do sex? Did you have sex without learning it?
Yep.
There you go. You're making my points.
I mean, it really doesn't take much to lay there, especially for your first time. You don't really.
That's all you do.
Exactly. So, but with your menstrual, it's not the same thing. So, I'm confused.
But you figured it out. You just said you figured it out.
We're not saying that, and that's not the point that anybody's saying. We're not saying that we can't figure it out. We've already established that the baby boomers and the Gen X's and Z's, whichever one, has just pushed niggas out there and be like, hey, figure it out. You didn't die, did you? Yeah, I didn't die, but it would have been nice to not have come close to death. The whole situation could have been avoided if you would have learned how to communicate effectively. And
how old
as
were
a
you?
mother,
Last question, were you like 13, 14, something like that?
I didn't get my period until I was 16.
Well, then you should have been well versed in reading. You should have read the box. Callie,
I read the box. I read the box, but that's what I'm saying. Even reading instructions, how would I have known? I went into practice with a pad. My pad fell out of my underwear mid-practice. What do? I'm embarrassed in this moment, and there's a bloody pad sitting on the floor.
So what did you do?
I ran off the court and picked up my bloody pad and sat in the bathroom like my dad would have told me. Sit on the toilet to your mom.
Heck did a pad. I don't want to. I don't understand. I've been to school. I've never seen anybody's pad fall on the floor while they were playing basketball.
Well, mine was only in some very, very shitty underwear. It was Victoria's Secret underwear. Maybe that's where I messed up.
Unacceptable. You wearing Victoria's Secrets and don't know how to put a pad on?
So
you know, Victoria's Secret make regular drawers, right? They're not all lacy and all that kind of stuff like that. They make regular granny panties.
I wear granny panties and boxes. That's it.
All right, let me all right, let me that shit. I'm getting fucking disgusted, man. I can't.
I know it's disgusting.
So here's the
why did you let this go on for so long, Hal?
I thought they were gonna work through it. Hold on, let me read the super chat. I thought they were gonna work their way through it. It became super circular, so I'm like, okay, it's time for me to jump on in. Hold on, Rilla. Ariana with the 2000 says, can you pose which generation? Okay, we did. Hopefully we got to answer it well for him. Valerie with the 10 says, good night too. You did a good job. She was talking to Ro. Hank with the 2000 says, Yana is being honest. Shout out to her. That was earlier. Andre with the 2000 says, kudos to Yana. She's genuine and authentic. No cap. Red Pill with the $5 says, chivalry is dead and women killed it when they started having sex and any old loser that made their coochie throb. Chivalry is a fool's errand now. Jeez. Valerie with the $5 says, Ro, you did good. I messed up the $10 super chat. Red Pill Ranger with the $5 says, we can't use opinions, feelings, and anecdotal evidence in these conversations. Black people aversion to stats is disgusting reeks of mental illness. Damn. Ariana with the $2 says, boomers talk like Yoda Jedi mind masters. Big Bad Boy with the $5 says, what generation is Lil Bruh blaming for him getting a panel with the do-rag though? What generation is Lil Bro blaming for him getting on the panel with a do-rag though? Like Lil Dude's perspectives though. That's my young boy. Shout out to Jim, bro. John with the $5 said, stay-at-home moms, quote unquote, were more commonplace amongst military families after a certain rank.
Yeah.
Red Pill Ranger with the $5 says, they weren't simps back in the day. They had women that were worth worth doing that for/with. You would not a simp if she qualifies, earned it, aka return on investment. Hank, the basement with $2 says our pain was turning over that check to the missus.
Never.
HQ with the $5 says when men brought home their checks, their family got further, had more together, and felt a sense of family more. Today they selfish with making the family first. Ariane with the $2 says black men don't vote, neither go to church. We call bullshit. DG with the €2 says salute him. What's up, DG? Salute to the panel. Jerice have children, B.
Shout out to DG.
John Henry with the $5 says red pill ranger. A swathe. What is that word? A swathe?
Swath.
Swath.
Okay. A suave Gen X woman back then qualified for 100% treatment, quote unquote, because they quote unquote understood and agree with this program. Ariane with a $5 says, if we reset right now, grandpa ain't making it and no one listening to them. This was a trick question. It's obviously Gen Y or Z working together. Joel Penegard with the $5 says, do y'all know how hard it is to spit game when you couldn't call her until 9:01 p.m.? Nights and weekends. Pounds singular, real shit. Valley with the $20 says, put her in the bathroom.
Put him in the fucking bathroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Yeah, Val, I don't have it scrolling. Remember, it usually scrolls when I say dollars equal minutes, but yeah, this is just a what is it called? Stagnant panel. Closed panel, maybe, right? The red pill ranger with the $5 says, if you can't receive when it's given, that's a you problem. You can't dictate when and how. I tell you it's a dinosaur in the basement. Go on down there. August with the $5. What's popping? August says, it's crazy how Ask Abe is trying to downplay Yana just to be right. Clear example of the problem. Caesar's Pals, what's popping with the $2? Says, I'll ask Abe, you're a sweet lady. Romello with the $5 says, Boomer said this with me. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone.
Wow. Damn.
Go ahead, Ruler.
That dog at Ham. Now you know I'm old and I might have forgot the question by now. I got dog it.
Put him in the fucking bathroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
All right,